Yeah, bad news, but also good news for Tesla stock. Here are the reactions to Tesla Investor Day. Meet Kevin says that Tesla Investor Day was a middle finger to investors. James says that the event was a disaster. Troy says it was unnecessary. There was very little information, says another person, and that is a common theme. No new information. But then also, I can find a lot of people that actually loved the Investor Day. Stephen Mark Ryan is saying that to say there was no new info is to say that you are mentally impaired. And Tesla stock is down about 6% in the after hours. Gary Black is saying long on aspiration, short on detail. Lots of discussion on production and engineering, but did not address demand and how to go from 1.8 million deliveries this year to 20 million delivery target by 2030. I actually have a pretty strong opinion on this, but let me finish here first. Gary tried to ask his questions, but they limited questions. Jeffrey's analyst asked how many different models for 20 million units, and Elon said about 10, but did not elaborate. Institutions get annoyed when Elon dismisses demand questions and insists that demand is infinite. And indeed, Elon mentioned multiple times that demand is infinite. And when you hear that, if you are an institution, you're like, it's not infinite. Right now, there's no infinite backlog. What are you talking about? But here is what happened. Elon addressed demand hours in the presentation has been going on for hours. I think so many people were already tired and exhausted from all of the little details. These presentations were not exactly very easy to listen to. There were a few presenters that were pretty exciting to listen to. Like they had this energy. For example, the person in charge of charging, she was good. That presentation, that was so easy to listen to, and it was exciting even though not that much was revealed in that particular presentation. If every presentation was like that, it would have been so easy to listen to the whole thing. But I think many people were just exhausted. It was detailed, and they gave a lot of old information that we have already seen many times if you pay attention to everything that Tesla does. And then here and there, they sort of dropped little nuggets. And if you were already zoned out, you were like, there's nothing new here. Like you had to really pay attention because you had to first listen for so much stuff that we already know to learn a few things that we don't know yet. And then Gary says, that's my point. Tesla is focused on cost reduction and manufacturing, but the street wants data points to support demand function. What Elon said when he says demand is infinite, he did not say demand is infinite at current prices. What he basically said indirectly is that our current cars are basically overpriced because you have infinite demand if you lower the prices. He said if you have infinite desire to own a car which you cannot afford, there is no demand. So what he was implying is that we have to lower our prices. And one way to think about this whole presentation that we just had was it was all about demand. What Wall Street is concerned about is demand at current pricing. And what Elon is saying, that's the dumbest way to think about all of this. You have to think about how can we reduce the cost further, because when we do, demand will spike again. And because there's no new announcement of a new vehicle, people are thinking, oh, demand is going to be bad for Tesla, so therefore sell Tesla stock. Tesla is never going to release the next generation vehicle, right? So although Meet Kevin is extremely upset, Ross Gerber actually is quite happy. And James is saying here, Elon is terrible at events, but boy, does he excel at hiring talent. Tesla executive team is top-notch. So let's go through a few new things. Tesla announces unlimited overnight charging for $30 per month. Was Tesla offering that before? No. Will that help demand? Yes. And for those saying, oh, there is no new information. Did you see this slide? Do you remember this one? Probably no, because you were asleep. Let me show you what this means. This is Sandy Munro's estimated cost for the Model 3. $33,000, $33,500. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is this price is normalized right here. The 30% reduction is normalized. That means it is normalized for changes in market rates for lithium, nickel, steel, and aluminum. So we would need to do a more detailed calculation, but if I just take the number that Sandy gave us for the 2018 Model 3 and I just take out 30% from that, you get a car that you can make for $24,000 today, and it's a Model 3. Tesla today sells the Model 3 in the US for $43,000 roughly. So if I just take a 40% margin, I get about $26,000 for the cost of the Model 3. Do you understand how big of an implication this could be? Keep in mind, this is normalized for the market rates of lithium, nickel, steel, and aluminum, but also keep in mind, this is for the 2022 Model 3. Tesla is working on the refresh Model 3, the Project Highland. So this should actually be pushed down even lower. Here's another important piece of news. Tesla has announced their new 50 gigawatt hour per year lithium refinery in Texas that will start commissioning by the end of this year. We had a question on the earnings conference call recently. Won't it take many years to build this thing? No, it will not. Tesla announced that they can now build a permanent magnet motor, but without rare earth elements. That's a big deal. We had good news for a 4680 batteries. Pause if you like to read and go into detail, but this is a big deal. We also learned that the next generation platform is more than one vehicle segment. Almost all major Tesla departments utilize Tesla's own in-house software, which together make up Tesla's operating system. Result, improved internal process efficiency with all of this. And here's by how much all of that improves everything. We just learned that Tesla has produced 4 million vehicles in total so far. Tesla has just teased us with 2 new energy products coming in 2023. We got further confirmation that making batteries the new way is going to be quite a bit cheaper because the factory footprint is going to be so much smaller. And the factory for refining lithium, I think that is a pretty big deal. Remember how Elon before used to say, refining lithium is like printing money. Well, now Tesla is going to print money. I like how meticulous Tesla is with measuring everything. For example, strengthened feedback loop between manufacturing and service. This resulted in 11% here, time in service reduction, 16% early service reduction, 9% service appointment wait time reduction. They measure these things. And when you do, you will improve them. This slide I absolutely loved. What it takes to ramp a gigafactory, 90% overall equipment effectiveness and 45-second cycle time. This shows Shanghai Model Y output going up, of course, but this shows Shanghai Model Y labor hours going down versus Fremont. You can see that this is quite a bit higher when the Giga Shanghai is. This shows how much more potential Tesla has to improve its margins. Tesla has this huge factory in Fremont that, relatively speaking, compared to other legacy automakers, is really effective. But you compare that to Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory, and it pales in comparison. And Tesla has learned a lot from Giga Shanghai and is now building Austin and Berlin factories. And with the new factory in Mexico, Tesla is going to be even more effective. And remember how Chinese engineers from Giga Shanghai were coming to the US all the time? Well, you just saw the result of that. So some loved the Investor Day, some hated it. I kept my expectations low. I feel just fine. If a stock drops a whole bunch, that is going to be a buying opportunity. And here's what is important to understand about the investor day. It's simple. You either understand and appreciate engineering and manufacturing, or you wanted the short-term shiny toy. I just prefer the former because that's how Tesla gets to 20 million at ridiculous margins. Most just don't appreciate this. Others do. Of course, the shiny toys are coming eventually. They just did not come today. I am very happy that I kept my expectations really low. Other people that kept their expectations higher and were expecting a new model to be announced today, you are probably quite upset today. And I understand you. But if you are going to sell Tesla stock because of that and you are getting out of a stock long term, I'm going to buy your shares from you. I have a few more very strong opinions on the Tesla Investor Day. I will be sharing those over the next few days. I think there are some things that Tesla could have certainly done better with the event, but a lot of the things I am quite happy with. But also keep in mind, I kept my expectations really low. Don't be surprised if tomorrow the stock drops a whole lot. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be excited for the buying opportunity, just like I was excited at $109 per share. This is the Tesla stock buying opportunity explained by Elon Musk. My name is Matt Post. Just like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.